What is up, everyone? This is a very special edition of Previews and Predictions because we have a very special guest. He's the newest member of the Warm Ballers team, Monti Rossetti. Monti, come on over here.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Hey,
what's up, man?
I didn't have a cool walk like you.
We'll work on it. It's early.
Yeah,
it's early.
You're
I was gonna put my mic over here, but you don't need it. You
no, I have my own.
I
usually walk around with my own mic.
He brought his own mic.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, the only question I think we have to ask is, so that people get to know you, who is your favorite club?
Arsenal. Gunners!
What?
Yes.
I did not know that beforehand.
Yes.
I don't know if that's allowed. You know what, Monti?
I've been through a lot.
Anyway, that was a very special edition of Previews and Predictions. I'm just kidding. Monti, come back on here.
Okay.
Okay, so first game, we're going to do, it's a big one, Liverpool versus Manchester City.
Whew.
Now, before we get started in this game, let's set the rules for everybody watching.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to pick a side.
Yes.
You're going to pick a side.
Okay.
We're going to defend each side, and
Yes.
then we're going to make a prediction based on what I said and what I heard.
Okay.
And vice versa for you.
Cool.
I'm going with Liverpool on this one.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going with City.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
the only other option.
Appreciate that. So I'm going to go first. I'm going to
Okay.
give you a few reasons why I think Liverpool will absolutely win this game.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready? I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Liverpool have only dropped 2 points in 11 games this season. And they did it without Alisson, who is the reigning FIFA goalkeeper of the year.
Yes.
Okay, it's pretty impressive. He's back now, but for the majority of that, they did it without him.
Yes.
Okay, and he was a big reason why they were so stout defensively. Second reason, they haven't lost a game in over 2 years at Anfield. That's 45 league matches. And then this is a potential title decider.
Yes.
6 points is their lead right now at the top of the table. If they win it, it goes to 9. I know
Yeah.
it's only November, but it goes to 9. If they lose, it's 3, and it's already squeaky bum time. People are like, oh my God, Liverpool already blew their big lead that they had to the end. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
And they have to know it, and they have everything going their way to make that happen. So there, that's what I'm gonna say on that. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I got my reasons as well. First off, Manchester City. They aren't beating teams 8-0, 5-0. They're not killing teams, but they are playing at the level of the teams, which against Liverpool is a very high level to do for sure. But when Manchester City plays, they have a healthy squad. Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, they are producing some very, very good finishes and scores and all that good stuff.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that.
And the big thing too is Liverpool and Premier League just don't go very well together. They find a way to choke at the end of the season.
Wow.
We'll find out. This is November. We are only in November for sure. But maybe the choking begins now. They are 6 points ahead. Man City.
It could happen.
Man City are putting things together. Their last game against Southampton was not the best. I know Southampton lost 9-0 against Leicester City.
That's right.
And then Southampton was beating Man City for the longest time. But like I said, they play at the level of the teams. I'm expecting some kind of miracle because, yes, to beat Liverpool in Anfield after so long will be a hard situation.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to give a quick rebuttal.
Okay.
The last time these two teams played at Anfield,
Yeah.
it was 0-0.
Yes.
I don't expect a 0-0 in this one.
No, me neither.
I just can't see it happening.
Me neither.
Now, I will say, based on that performance, that comeback
Yeah.
that City had against Southampton, Liverpool just had theirs against Aston Villa this past week.
Exactly.
Okay, so in the league, they have to feel like they're destined to win this one.
Yeah.
Because they were down 1-0 in the 87th minute, and they found 2 goals to win that one 2-1.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
City did something similar to Southampton, right?
Exactly.
They came back, scrapped, and they got what they needed to get the win.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just feel like everything's pointing Liverpool's way. And the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous, just a smidge, a little bit nervous, is Liverpool due to lose at home? Like, at some point, it's going to be broken. And City's probably the only team
Oh, easily.
that could maybe do it in the Premier League.
I mean, how many losses does Liverpool have this season? So
None.
far?
They have 0 in the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, and don't hate me out there, Liverpool fans, please. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. But they do choke at some point in the season. It might be too early.
So you feel like if they lose this one, that's going to dictate the rest of the season? Or do you
Nah.
think they're going to fight back? It's a Jurgen Klopp team.
Well, the thing is you're right. 6 points is nice. But if they do lose, now City's only 3 points behind them with a whole 2/3 of a season left to do.
They'd be thirsty at it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think each team needs to win this game. Why this is one of the best. I mean, there's so many good games this weekend. We'll get into the rest of them in a second.
Exactly.
What's your prediction?
Okay, so you can tell I was struggling to fight for Manchester City on this one.
You were. You're welcome to come over to my side.
Okay, you know
I can
what?
hold it against you.
You know what? I actually do see there will be a tie. I'm going to give it a tie.
What's the score?
2-2.
2-2.
Yes, they're going to be goals.
This guy
There's going to be goals.
As the newest member of Warm Ballers.
I'm playing it safe.
2-2 is my favorite scoreline, dude. I respect it.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
But I think that Liverpool's going to win this one 3-2.
3-2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like something's going to happen. City always has some defensive error. You're like, how did that happen?
So you're saying what happens is that it's going to be the 90th minute, 2-2. I'm going to turn off the TV and be like, I predicted this right. Turn it off. Don't even watch the end of the game. Then they're going to score, and then you're going to beat me in the prediction.
That's
I'm
right.
predicting that at least, so I can come out winning somehow.
Yeah, you're going to win no matter what. I like this guy.
Now the second matchup that we're going to talk about is two powerhouses of Italian soccer, Milan versus Juventus. I'll start off with this one since you start off with the last one.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm picking Juventus. They're playing in Torino, which is, that's probably my first point because playing at home is always nice. They have been scraping a lot of wins. Out of their 9 wins, only 8 have been, or actually 8 of them have been of 1 goal wins. Juventus actually just played a game today against Lokomotiv Moscow, scraped another win in the 93rd minute. Douglas Costa scoring a great goal, getting the 3 points because that's all that matters at the end of the day is 3 points. Surprise, surprise, Juventus is in first place right now, only 1 point ahead of Inter Milan. And then, I mean, with Cristiano Ronaldo, and actually I'm actually Argentinian as well, in case you guys didn't know that. Higuain is actually having a pretty good season as well. So even as a starter or on the bench, they have depth with this team. So whatever the result is,
yeah, you could have stopped maybe like a minute and a half ago on.
I know. I'm
saying,
sorry.
You could just
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you.
Juve is actually really good and Milan's not. Now for me, I don't know if you saw the scheduling, but Milan has Juventus, Napoli, Lazio, and Roma, not in that order, but they play them on 4 consecutive weekends. I think that's some bullshit scheduling. That's what I'm going to say there.
Are we saying they're going to be relegated already?
No, I'm not going that far. They lost to Lazio this past weekend for the first time at the San Siro in 30 years. So guess what? You got nowhere else to go but up.
Yeah.
They have a new manager that just replaced their other new manager.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time, but it's been really disappointing to see Milan fall this far from grace.
It is.
And how consistently they fall from grace.
I agree. I mean, Juventus is coming from a 1-0 win against Torino. They're hated rivals of Torino, which actually at this point, Torino might be more of a historic team than Milan right now in this season. But I think you're right. I think Milan is going to they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. New coaches are also always very scary because you don't have any tape on, very much tape on this new coach as well.
They need to find their best 11.
Yes.
They didn't do that with the other coach. They need to find it with Pioli now.
Yeah.
He needs to make sure they have an identity and have something to work off of.
Exactly.
You know, if you keep changing the lineup or keep changing the formation, it's really hard to get a rhythm as a player.
Exactly. And Juventus is not the team that you want to experiment things with either.
No, you don't. So I really expect Milan to play pretty defensive. Lot of Catenaccio in their future. It's not looking good. Let's just do predictions.
All right. Actually, since you let me go first last time, I'm going to let you do the prediction first.
I just don't see how Milan has a chance in this one. They'd have to play out of their minds. Donnarumma in goal would have to be standing on his head, which is more than possible. He's proven it in the past. They might rise to the challenge a little bit, but they've been struggling. Yeah. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I'm going to say, because Juve plays at the level of their competition, this is probably going to be closer than it should be. I'll say 2-1 to Juve.
2-1? Okay.
But I could even see like Milan not even getting a shot on goal. Like, that's sad days. Man.
That's fair. That's fair.
But go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, my prediction, since these are two very proud Italian teams, because pride runs through the Italian league very deep.
Two most successful teams in Italian history.
Two most successful teams. I'm predicting 2 red cards.
What, Gattuso's coming back out?
Oh, man, I don't know.
That's what they need. They need a guy like him in
the
team.
They do. It's going to be a scrap, but I am actually, if I don't want to take 2-1, because I was just, all right, 1-0 Juventus. 1-0 Juventus.
1-0.
I don't think Juventus is going to scrape this team 3-0 at all. Or 4-0, whatever. Okay. 1-0 Juventus.
I can't wait to have our Monti versus Jimmy counter.
Yeah, no.
We have to have that.
This is going to be embarrassing.
All right. You. Okay, game 3 probably should have been game 2 on our slate. It's Der Klassiker, Bayern Munich versus Borussia Dortmund. I'm going to go first.
Okay, that's fair.
Bayern just fired their manager, but they needed a new one. All the players seem to be thirsting for it. All their quotes after the fact, including Manuel Neuer, has been very vocal saying, yeah, we could all see it happening. Yeah. Like, that's pretty fucked up, I'll be honest. He's like, I mean, that makes me feel like they maybe sandbagged him a little bit because they knew, that he
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
As Niko Kovac being your coach, I would be afraid to play for him because he just has a really mean look on his face. I feel like if I did something wrong, he just looks at you. That's just my side point, not soccer specific. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll say this. I know there's a big hunt now.
Yes.
We're going to have a video on it very soon, a search for the Bayern Munich manager. Right now, though, real briefly, I feel like Thomas Müller might be the guy that he can make him a player coach. He's been with Bayern his whole career. I know this is crazy, but humor me here for a second. He knows what makes him tick. Yeah. He knows what makes him successful. Let him run the show until the end of the season, and then you can hire whoever you want. Erik ten Hag would be a great hire from Ajax.
Yeah.
He's already said he's not going to come over mid-season. I know Arsene Wenger is now on the list. He
Yes.
seems to be one of the front runners. That would be crazy.
As an Arsenal fan, I think that's not a great idea.
Well,
but go
I mean,
on.
he's going to be winning a lot of games over Arsenal in the Champions League round of
That's
16.
true.
Right? So he
Yeah,
can
that's
probably
true.
crack that.
Oh,
nut,
I
as
didn't
it
even
were.
think of that. That's horrible. Yeah.
Also, okay, just getting back to
Yeah.
the game itself. This is a revenge match. Dortmund beat Bayern 2-0 in the German
Super
Super
Cup.
Cup to start the season. Even though Bayern aren't playing very well, they're only 1 point behind Dortmund in the table. They're
Yeah.
in fourth. Dortmund are in second.
Yeah.
So even though it feels like a little bit of a season that's gone awry, things are still looking pretty good. I will say the one thing that they need to focus on, and then I'll pass it over to you.
Okay.
Defense.
Yeah.
They've given up 16 goals so far in 10 games. Okay, when they won the league in 2016, 2017, they only gave up 22 goals all season.
It's not fair that 5 of them were last weekend.
That's true. That's fair. But still, it speaks to my point. And then the season before that, they only gave up 17 goals the whole season. 34 games.
So you're saying if they only give up 1 goal in the rest of the season, they might have a chance?
They might have a chance.
Okay,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. And it doesn't look good because Jerome Boateng still plays for them. Listen, I love Jerome Boateng, but he's past his peak.
Oh,
okay,
man.
go ahead. Your turn.
Okay, all right. Well, Borussia Dortmund, first off, they haven't lost a game in almost 2 months
Black
against
and yellow, black and
Union
yellow.
Berlin, which was a surprise. It was a surprise, but that was way back in the beginning of the season. Now they're starting to find the rhythm. They had a good tie against Schalke. They beat Borussia Mönchengladbach, who's actually the leader right now, not too long ago. They beat Wolfsburg 3-0.
That's a big win.
And they have the hype of what they did at Inter Milan in the Champions League. They were down 2-0. And then they come back in the second half, 3-2. I think the motivation, the mindset is there for Borussia.
And the momentum?
And the momentum.
But it's at the Allianz Arena.
It is at the Allianz Arena. That is the one negative thing, but Borussia Dortmund all the way here.
Whoa, I wouldn't say all the way.
All the
I don't
way
think
here.
it's just a slam dunk.
I'm already going to my prediction.
You know, sometimes
But
there
you'll
is,
see.
I know you are, there is that kind of new coach bump.
Yes.
You know, so the assistant comes in. They're no more Niko Kovac. You know, it seems like the players had tuned him out a long time ago.
Yeah.
Robert Lewandowski is on fire
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
So despite anything that was happening behind the scenes, he was still doing the business, proving to be, right now for me, currently the best number 9 in the world.
Yeah.
You can't sleep on him. You can't sleep on a team that's going to feel reinvigorated without having an old coach that might have been oppressive in some ways.
Yeah.
And didn't maybe have the tactics they thought they could pull off.
Yeah.
Bayern's got this. They got this.
They got this. Actually, you threw out a name, I'll throw out a name, Matt Hummels. He has a lot to prove. When he left Borussia Dortmund for Bayern and won a lot of great
Sure,
things,
sure.
Borussia Dortmund fans were like, wow, great, you just left us, and now you came back thinking you're just going to retire with us. He's actually doing pretty good.
Is he? Is
They're-
that the Mats Hummels that got ran by Lautaro Martinez from Inter Milan?
But
is that the same one?
Lautaro Martinez is pretty good. He's a pretty good player. All right. I mean, it's not going to just take him to stop
You say it a lot
Lewandowski.
better than me. Can you say it again?
Lautaro
Yeah.
Martinez. There's
so
certain
much better.
certain words I'm going to say a
Oh,
lot
they're so
better.
much better.
There's other
Please
ones
correct me anytime.
there's other words I'm not going to say
I am
very
so
well.
gringo.
But
I'm just
okay,
own it. Go ahead.
I think Borussia Dortmund, yeah, I mean, they just have it all going for them right now. So I don't know if you want to get into the predictions.
Yeah, I do want to get in the predictions.
Okay.
I think that Bayern are going to win
Wow.
3-2.
Oh, 3-2. Okay,
I think
okay.
they got 3 goals in them.
I am going to say Borussia Dortmund are going to win 2-0. And Sancho's going to have a game. He's going to have a
You're
game.
going to shut out Bayern at home?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I know we're in California and weed is legal here, but what? How much are you smoking?
All right, match number 4 of the weekend. We got El Gran Derby, Real Betis versus Sevilla.
So they share a city, but I also hear that they're pretty friendly to each other.
Yeah, I think so. They love each other. Best of friends. But let's get into this game.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm going to talk about Real Betis.
Okay.
You're going to do a little Sevilla talk
Sevilla.
over there. Okay, Real Betis. Unfortunately, they've been having a struggling season.
Whew,
They
that's an
are
understatement.
They are about 3 or 4 points above the relegation zone. In the last 3 games that they played, they've won, they've tied, and they've lost. They beat Celta Vigo. That's a struggling team with them as well.
Yes.
They lost to Granada, which is the surprising team of La Liga.
Yes.
And they tied Real Madrid
At the
in the
Bernabeu.
Bernabeu.
But I will say the goalkeeper stood on his head. He was so good that game. I watched it. I mean, that's the reason why they didn't lose that game.
La Liga
You
has
can't
those.
count on the goalkeeper every single time.
Every year in La Liga, you have a game like this where Real Madrid and Barcelona just shock the world. They don't perform as well.
Yeah.
This is a game, though, before going into El Gran Derby, you want that kind of performance. You want at least that
Sure.
result and that motivation, because I'm all about motivation, as you probably noticed. The one guy that I'm going to look at as the heart of the team is Joaquin, the legendary 38-year-old Joaquin, former Valencia, former Fiorentina player. This guy, he had the winner last year when they played the same fixture, 1-0,
Yeah.
a great header in the 80th minute.
I remember.
So I'm hoping to see that Joaquin, spurs a little bit of emotions with the team, gets everybody going. uses that motivation against Real Madrid, and brings a result against Sevilla.
You know what this sounds like, everybody? This is him reaching for something because Betis have no chance. Sevilla are going to do the business. They are unbeaten in their last 4 matches, including draws against Atleti and away to Valencia.
Those are good teams.
They have some terrific players. Joan Jordan has been fantastic. Lucas Ocampos, both 25 years old. Both absolute ballers, and some of their old guys have stepped up as well.
Yeah.
Jesus Navas in particular, he's moved back from the right wing to right back, which has got him a callback into the full national team at age 33. What a legend. And then they have Ever Banega, who runs things in midfield amongst some of the other players. But I really like what Sevilla's got going. They haven't really found that consistency, I think, to just be like, yes, they're for sure a team in the top 4, and they're going to finish and qualify for the Champions League. They have more quality than Betis, and in this game, I think that's all that's going to matter.
There's a lot of quality on Betis' side as well. They have Andres Guardado, the legendary Mexican player. They also have
I played against him once.
Let me see if I say his name right. Nabil Fekir. Yes, I just want to make sure I didn't say a bad word and people thought I was cussing them out over here.
They won't think that.
Surprising signing from Betis. He was kind of like, I don't know if Betis fans out there remember Denilson from like 15 years ago, World Cup winner, signed.
He went to FC Dallas too. Was that the
same
Denilson?
same.
I don't know how many Denilsons are out there.
There was one in Arsenal
Fekir
also.
was supposed to go to Liverpool.
And fell through. And then he went one better. He went to Real Betis. Former World Cup winner.
Yeah, where's that? Where's that thing you're speaking? Somebody ran off.
I think somebody took it away. Yeah. Enjoy. But yeah, no, I think especially for Fekir. Nabil, we're just gonna go on the first name basis.
Nabil.
He's got to find some kind of rhythm in his game. It's been kind of a struggling season. He had the game winner for them early on, and I think it's gonna be a little bit of that, finding his skill. World Cup winner, just don't shoot him down.
I'm not buying what this guy's selling. Sevilla's gonna win this 2-0.
Oh wow, prediction.
Predictions.
Sevilla 2-0.
Thank you for coming to my side. Yeah. So the 5th out of our 6 matches that we're previewing here on Previews and Predictions is the Olympique Derby between Marseille and Lyon.
Yes.
Now, as a new fan of Marseille, I'm going with them. You're going with Lyon.
Of course.
Get another option.
I've got no other option.
Marseille struggling a little bit. They have won only 2 out of their last 8 games, which included an embarrassing loss to PSG 4-0. They got knocked out of the Coupe de la Ligue by Monaco. Things aren't good.
Yes.
They need to win this game.
Yes.
They do have one thing, though. Saving grace. The last 2 times that they've played at home against Lyon, they've lost, okay? But no. Their manager at that time was Rudy Garcia, okay?
Yes.
Do you know who manages Lyon now?
I don't know.
Rudy Garcia! He just got named as their manager a few weeks ago. The guy can't win this derby in Marseille. That's why I think Marseille has the edge.
Wow, that's just because of one guy who's the coach.
I think it makes a difference.
Okay.
And plus, they really need to win this. I think they're going to lose the fans if they don't win this game. They have to have something to salvage their season. Yes, I know they're in 4th. Yes, I know they have 19 points. And yes, I know they're way above Lyon in the table. Actually, it's not that high.
No, it's not.
Okay, you can get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But they have a -2 goal differential.
Yes.
If they can shore it up defensively and just score the vital goal here and there, Dario Benedetto, I'm looking at you, then that's going to turn their season around. But they have to win this game.
Yeah.
They're passionate Marseille fans, and they need something to hold on to this season.
Yeah. I think this might be a panic call, and you might be wondering, this new guy comes in, he's already panicking about teams and their positionings and all that stuff. This could be a fight for 2nd place or a relegation battle game already, because you know how many points are the difference between 2nd and 20th place?
No.
9 points. 9 points.
And it's like La Liga. You know, there's 5 points to separate the top 13.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Well, yeah.
Go back to France.
We should have saved the La Liga stat. Okay, fine. But yeah, so the fact that Lyon has a great advantage against Marseille in Marseille is beneficial to us. I don't care what you have to say about our coach. Our coach, you know what? Stay home. Rudy, just stay home. That's all. And then we got the win. That's all you got to do. But another person that you need to look at, actually 2 guys, is I'm going to say double Ds. You got Depay and Dembele. Those guys have scored 15 goals together. Lyon has 19 total, or 18 total. So that's other than 3 goals. The double Ds have done it great.
Yeah. Image in my head when you say double Ds.
Is that not where you were going?
No.
That's where I was. Get your mind out of the gutter. Jeez, come on, Jimmy. But yeah, I think I got a lot going for me. I think Lyon's got this in the bag.
So prediction then. You're going right to it.
Okay. I would say it's not going to be 3-0 like it was last year.
Okay.
Lyon, I'll give you the Rudy Garcia nervousness. I'm going to say 1-0.
It's a jinx. Rudy Garcia is a jinx for Marseille.
Okay.
Well, now for Lyon.
Now for Lyon. Okay. Yeah. Well, you know what? What if he still is a jinx for Marseille? Lyon's going to win.
I didn't think about it like that. No, I'm not a fan.
I said 1-0, and now that I actually helped myself out with that point, 2-0, Lyon.
I can't subscribe to that at all.
Yes, you
but
can.
you can subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications too. Shameless plug alert.
That was good. That was good.
Okay. I don't think that Marseille is going to lose at home 3 straight times to Lyon. I just don't see it happening. I don't know if they're good enough to get a win at this moment either. Rudy Garcia knows some of these players very intimately. I think he knows how they try to beat Lyon, and that's going to give him an advantage. So, yes, I lean to you a little bit.
Yes.
I'm going to say 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say 2-2. 2-2 it is.
All right, perfect. That sounds fair. All right, number 6. We have MLS Cup. Is this the most important one out of all those that we talked about? This is the best team in MLS. Domestically.
Right.
But out of all the games that we talked about this weekend, there's a lot going on in this one because ultimately, whoever wins this game wins it all.
Right.
We have
Seattle versus Toronto.
Toronto. Exactly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Seattle. Then you're going to talk a little bit about the Canadians. And they're not called the Canadians. That's a hockey team. But they are from Canada.
Yes,
That's
you're
what
right.
I meant. I just want to make sure you knew that.
I understand my geography.
I also think
I know where Toronto is.
I also think Toronto has won one too many tournaments this year anyways. But that's another conversation.
Sure.
All right. So I'm actually going to go into Seattle. Seattle, first off, shouldn't even be here. They've gotten a little bit better every game of the playoff. And they've been just upsetting. They had an overtime win against FC Dallas, which FC Dallas squeaked their way into the playoffs. Then they played against Real Salt Lake, Nick Ramondo's last game, and they just shut him out.
Yeah.
And that was all
brought
bad.
Nick Ramondo to tears.
I know. That was horrible. That's mean. But I'm still fighting for this team. And then they beat LAFC 3-1 in LA. Carlos Vela, get lost. I don't know what happened to him. But yeah, so Seattle, this is probably the 20th time I've said this word, is very motivated in this game. Especially, this is the 3rd time they played in 4 years. This is the rubber match between the two. But this is the first one in Seattle. So you have the 12th man behind them. You got Russell Wilson behind him.
I heard, and Macklemore, who they say I look like. And actually, talking about lookalikes, you kind of look like Stefan Fry.
I've heard that.
Goalkeeper of
I've
Seattle.
heard that. I think I found my doppelganger just like you found many of yours.
Yeah, well, Pedro Caixinha. What's up, dude? Respect. Mrs. never should have got rid of you. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. But yeah, I think Seattle's got a lot going for theirs. I really want to hear about Toronto, though.
Do you really?
Yes.
Because I feel like they've taken a similar path to Seattle.
Yes, they did.
Which is they've upset some teams that maybe they shouldn't have
yes.
along their way to get to the final. So they took care of DC United in their first game. It went to overtime. It was 1-1. Then they scored 4 goals in overtime to end Wayne Rooney's career in MLS.
Brought him to tears.
Yeah, brought him to tears. Nick Ramondo on one side, Wayne Rooney on another. I don't know if he's really crying. I think he was crying with joy so he could go back to England because his wife and his family were miserable apparently. And then they took down the #1 seed NYCFC at the Mets Stadium, just another baseball stadium. Doesn't matter. Still took them down. More impressively, though, they went to Atlanta and took down Atlanta United, the defending champions, in their home. I thought Atlanta was already booking their ticket to host the game after LAFC lost the previous day.
Exactly.
I think they got a little ahead of themselves.
Something
they thought it was going to be a guarantee.
Yep.
Now, they probably should have won. They missed a penalty that would have made it 2-0. I think they would have walked away with the game, and instead they lose. Hat tip to Toronto for doing what they had to do to win games. I think that's what they've done all along, and I think they're going to do it again. I think that experience matters. I think this group, for whatever reason, is really dialed in right now, and that's a hat tip to Greg Vanney, the head coach, and for all the players on the team for getting the business done.
Yeah, no, I see your points. But then I still raise the fact that Rui Diaz is probably the best forward right now in the league. And I'm looking at you, Vela, and I'm looking at you, Zlatan. Rui Diaz has shown up when he needs to the most. I think this is going to be a great game, especially when he's got a creative player like Nico Lodeo behind him who's just pulling the strings and scoring some goals too.
Well, you know why it's going to be the greatest game? Because I'm going to be there, suckers.
I'm not going to be there.
have a pickup game on Saturday, so make sure you follow me on the socials to make that happen. I think it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday. Brad Evans is going to come. I'm trying to get Zach Awani, some former Sounders to come out. It's going to be great. What I'll say about Toronto, I just want to get into this tactically, and I feel like those guys over there have gotten louder. It just feels like it's louder.
I think they have.
Right,
I don't think they liked my points. They got louder.
No, they don't.
No.
They're definitely TFC fans.
I know.
What I'm going to say is that I thought Atlanta did a very good job of splitting the 2 center backs of Toronto and making Michael Bradley chase somebody out of midfield. That led to the penalty, which we could argue should have been a red card on Michael Bradley. Didn't get called for that new rule, the double Dogzo rule, whatever the stupid ass rule is. It should have been a red card. That's a red card offense. He should have been out, and Atlanta would have cruised. Didn't work out that way, and Toronto figured out a way to make it happen. Now, if Seattle do that and Rui Diaz steps off and brings Simon or any of the other center backs from Toronto away, you're going to run Nico Lodero through there.
Yes.
You got to be. It's just Toronto has to be very careful because if they can keep everything in front of them, they're very good and very hard to break down. But if they can get split and have runs come through,
Yeah.
and Seattle does that very well, it could be a long day for Toronto.
No, I agree. I agree.
That's all I'm going to say. So
All
prediction?
Right. All right, predictions.
So yes, you're right. The rubber match. This is the
match.
third MLS Cup with these two teams out of the last 4 years.
Seattle, Toronto, 3.
Toronto won the first one. Excuse me, wrong. Seattle won the first one. Toronto won the second one. This is the rubber match.
I'm going to say this is going to be a tight game. Both teams obviously have it all to fight for. Seattle's going to pull it out in overtime. 2-1.
Wow.
2-1.
I mean, I kind of want to go with you because it does suck to go to an MLS Cup and see the home team lose.
Yeah, it's going to be awkward.
And I don't want to see that. It'd be really cool. It doesn't matter who the team is that's playing.
Yeah.
If you host the MLS Cup and you win it, it's just such a better atmosphere.
Oh, for sure.
And the after parties are greater, and everything's just better.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I'm pulling for Seattle. But for the sake of what we're doing here, I'm really feeling like Toronto could do it. They've been playing spoiler this whole time. I think they like that role.
Yeah.
They're going to come into that role again. They proved it in Atlanta, so why not here in Seattle, where it's going to be very similar in terms of the surroundings.
Okay.
I think if they're going to do it, it's going to be in penalties.
Ooh.
And now, not Stefan Fry, but the goalkeeper for Toronto is going to be the hero.
Okay. That's fair.
Cool. All right, everyone, that does it for previews and predictions, a special edition with the newest team member of Warm Ballers, Monti Rossetti.
Thank you.
Monti, I'm so excited to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, cool. Now, a tradition for this show is I ask the audience to pick the right score for a certain game, and then I'll pick 5 winners, and they're going to win some dope-ass stickers.
Okay, sounds
Which
good.
Which game are they picking?
All right, I'm going MLS Cup.
Oh my
MLS
God, MLS Cup.
Seattle, Toronto.
Oh, he did it.
Yes, I did.
He could have gone Liverpool City.
Oh.
He could have gone Bayern, Borussia, Dortmund. He could have gone Marseille and Lyon.
I think my argument was really bad in the other ones that I felt confident with Seattle.
MLS Cup.
So pick my score.
Pick the right score for MLS Cup, and if you get it exactly right, you'll have a chance to win. I already said that. And that's it.
Cool.
Have a good or bad weekend, everybody. Later.